Hey, what's that smell?
We're in Wisconsin. Maybe somebody cut the cheese.
Well, let's go see some cheesy attractions. Located about 9 miles south of Spring Green, Wisconsin on Highway 23, the House on the Rock is the Super King granddaddy of all roadside attractions. It must be seen to get even a fair idea of what is contained in this conglomeration.
It all started with a 14-room house and studio built by Alex Jordan. Jordan built the first stages in the 1940s and started adding on one new huge room each year for the next 17 years. In these rooms he housed his incredible collections, which included antique weapons, room-size automated orchestras, and music machines of all kinds. There was stained glass, dolls and dollhouses, musical instruments, and the world's largest carousel, and everywhere mannequins in outlandish costumes.
Jordan passed away in 1989, but when he was alive, he delighted in walking with tour groups, incognito, just to gauge people's reactions. A few have whispered that his ghost still walks the winding halls. Many men tend to put their motor vehicles on a pedestal. In Wisconsin, some do that literally. Just outside of Clinton, visible from Interstate 90, eagle-eyed travelers can spot a pickup truck set into a tree outside a quarry.
Quarry owner Mark Madsen said that the tree branches were naturally shaped to hold a truck, so he obliged. He recently celebrated the tree truck's 10th anniversary.
I'm Mark Madman Madsen, and there's a lot more to me than just a truck in a tree.
A self-proclaimed madman, Madsen has also converted a 1974 Cadillac Coupe de Ville into a boat and has appeared on the TV show Monster Nation with many of his other outrageous contraptions.
And even though I cut the top off with a Sawzall permanently, I drive this all winter long. College chicks dig this car. Some of the next projects I got planned are Rock on a Stick and a few other displays that I'm going to have on Highway 43. You'll have to drive by to see what they are.
We're in the land of cheese. It's Wisconsin.
A half-mile west of Hollandale, Wisconsin, off of Highway 39, you'll find Nick's Grand View. In 1937, Nick Engelbert began to feel a need to enhance his house that stood over the gorgeous valley behind it. He started by building a series of arches that he covered in concrete, then with buttons, china, glass, pebbles, shells, and beads.
He then constructed what would eventually add up to 40-something figures, based on whatever occurred to him from his rich store of life experiences, knowledge, and lore. He called the place his historical barnyard.
There's a mermaid cavorting in her ocean, King Neptune, Snow White and her dwarves, and the double-headed Austrian eagle. A tree full of scampering monkeys, with a seated drunken man holding a bottle at its base. An organ grinder with his monkey is possibly one of the most compelling of Engelbert's artworks.
Nick died in 1962 and his Grandview fell into disrepair. But in 1991, the Kohler Arts Foundation of Sheboygan rescued Grandview and restored it from its dire deterioration. The spirit of Nick Engelbert and his overactive imagination is still present here for anyone who cares to take a moment to feel it.
About 25 years ago, a disillusioned salvage worker decided he had had it with the rest of the world and he wasn't going to take it anymore.
His solution was to transform himself into Dr. Evermore and built this Jules Verne-esque contraption with which he will one day jettison himself into another dimension.
So do you think Dr. Evermore will ever achieve his dream?
I don't know, but I think when he goes, I want to go with him.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of room for everybody on that bus.
Ah, the roadside attraction of Homer Simpson's dreams, the world's largest six-pack in La Crosse, Wisconsin. It once held 22,000 gallons of Heilmann's Old Style. After Heilmann sold the business to the city brewery a few years ago, the massive storage tanks were repainted to resemble large cans of LaCrosse lager.
Right across from the six-pack is the 15-foot statue of King Gambrinus, the patron saint of beer. Gambrinus was a 13th or 14th century knight who is said to have invented hop malt beer. Here's to you, King, and goodbye, Wisconsin.